friends. This is Traci Raether from Plum Crazy Stamping, and today is November 12th, 2025, and we're going to do our paper pumpkin workshop today. We actually have, let me put down the camera here so that you can see it. We have the Cozy Christmas October 2025 kit. So this is the box this subscription comes in every month. Now this one is decorated. Sometimes they're an orange box. But let me tell you what came in here. So I've already opened it, and it comes wrapped in tissue paper like a present, which was really nice. It was red this month. And I got a Stampin' Spot that was pecan pie. I got all the adhesive I needed. I have Terran tape and glue dots and dimensionals. Let's see. We got sequins in this, red sequins. Here's the stamp set. Very Christmassy, obviously. We get full color instructions, and then this kit had 3 cards of three sets of 3 cards, and there's an envelope that goes with all of this, and then full color instructions, as I said. On the back, it does show us all the components that comes in the kit. So this had card bases, card fronts, die cuts, really fun things. There is a set of dies that you can buy that goes with 3 different paper pumpkins. There's also, if you would not have the opportunity to watch someone like me do this, there's a QR code where you can watch somebody put the kit together to help you. And then there is the first section where it shows you just how to put all your supplies together for each card. So I've already done that. And I'll just remind you that if you're coming aboard, please let me know who you are and where you're watching from. And you can do that in the comments in Facebook, and you can do that also on YouTube as long as you're signed into your account. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. I've got some different things to share with you today, but we're going to jump right into paper pumpkin, and we're going to make the kit cards first. And then out of each set of supplies for 1 card, I'm actually going to make 2 cards by just adding a little cardstock and do some extra stamping. So it's a great way to get more out of your card. So instead of having 9 cards, in the end, you could have 18 cards. Okay, what I like about this is we get the instructions step by step. I'm just going to set these up here a little bit, and we're going to do some stamping. Aren't these envelopes pretty? Yes, I like those. All right. And we have our card base, which is already scored here. And I'm going to go ahead and just crease that with my bone folder. And then we're going to do a little stamping. Now, the stamps for paper pumpkin are photopolymer, just like all of our stamps are going to be now. So I'm going to grab my Pierce mat to do my stamping. And what I'm actually stamping right now is going to be the sentiment. And it's going to be Merry Christmas. So let's see. I just have to make sure that I have this in the right direction. Yep, there we go. Okay. And I'm going to do that with my pecan pie. So I'm just going to use my regular pecan pie ink pad to do this. And hi, Kathy, and hi, Sue. Oh, yes, talk about cold weather, Sue. So if you were with me last week, you knew I was talking about going to the Monday night football game. Well, you know what happened? It was the first time in 23 years that they had a sub-freezing temperature this early in the year. So, yes, it was in the 20s, very breezy, and the Packers lost by 3 points to the Philadelphia Eagles. And my friend was here from Pennsylvania, and she loves the Eagles, so at least she was happy. And we did survive the cold. So, a good time was had by all, but I have to say, a little disappointing. And usually by this time of the year, I'm watching it from home, and my husband and son go to the Packer games that are so cold. Well, I toughed it out, but I have not had on that many layers of long underwear, leggings, jeans, sweaters, sweatshirts. Oh my gosh. But anyway, it was fun to be there. It always is a lot of fun to be there. All right, let's grab this card base and go ahead and put this beautiful card together. I do need to add some adhesive to the back here of my card. And I'm going to use a little tear and tape on one side of it. So let's see, I'm going to put that on this side where it's even with the tree I'm going to make on the front of here. And then I'm going to use one dimensional. Okay. And so we have our card front, and I've already put tear and tape on here. So I'll get my Take Your Pick tool and go ahead and get that off of here. There we go. So this is like, I think it's the basic beige. Adds another color we can use for Christmas. So we've got that on. Now we're going to literally build a tree on here. So let's just take all the adhesive off of, all the adhesive coverings off of here. Can't tell you how tempted I am to put up a Christmas tree. You know, we've had snow a couple times already this last week, which I knew it was coming, but still, ugh. But now, since it's here, I do want to start my decorating. And last night, many of you may have literally seen northern lights. We saw a little bit, but we had quite a few clouds here in Wisconsin, so not the best. We could tell, excuse me, behind the clouds that there was brilliant green and pink, but we could only see streaks of it through the clouds. So I don't know if any of you went out and got any pictures, but the ones I've seen that they've been like sharing on the news, oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. But now we're going to go back up into the 60s this weekend, and I'm so glad because I have so much yard work to do yet. I better get it done because I think I'm going to run out of surprise days of having it warm. 62 to 64. That's probably as warm as, we're going to see, right, till the end of the year. Okay. Hi, Donna. Hi, Kathy. Okay, so I'm going to start building this tree right here on the bottom of my card front. And the really cool thing about this kit is it's like felted. It has felt on it. It's really nice. Okay, we're going to put the second layer on our tree here. I'm just going to match up the edges of that tree. There we go. And then our third layer. Oh, that's so pretty. All right, and then we've got a star for the very top here. All right, and I'm going to put my sentiment on here. And then some sequins. Very festive. All right. So there is card one. Was that easy? And like I said, this is really cool with the felt on there. I don't know about you, but whenever I got anything with texture, when I was opening Christmas cards, I love that. And then here's the envelope that goes with it. All right, that is card one. Now let's go to card two. A few more die cuts here. We got our card base. Well, I think I had shared I had hoped to get my Christmas cards all addressed and in their envelopes in July. Well, guess what? I'm still working on it. So, how are you doing with your Christmas cards? Are the cards made? Are they addressed? And are they ready to go? Question. Oh, Betty the Cloud cover was so thick. Yeah. I don't know now. There was maybe a chance that tonight we could go out again. Oh, and Kathy, you got to see them. Awesome. Hi, Kim. Yeah, I'm hoping I'm gonna hold my breath and try to go out again tonight and hope that it is, less clouds. The forecast said that may be the case, which would be awesome, right? All right, let's do some stamping here on our sentiment. So I've got the letters that I need to put on here. I think I'll put those on first, and that will help me make sure I do my stamping straight. And I've got just Terran tape on the back of these, which was kind of nice. The letters were thick enough that I could use the Terran tape, which is not always the case. Then I have to use those little glue dots I get in these paper pumpkin kits. So my friend that was here from Pennsylvania. She actually lives in the center of the state by Reading. We were listening to Christmas music and we were watching Hallmark Christmas movies. It was a great time. We got a lot of work done, but we sure enjoyed a little Christmas early. It seems like, you wait for it, and then all of a sudden it's here. And then before you know it, it's done. But we were definitely enjoying it this weekend. Okay, so now let me do a little stamping here. We're going to do To the World. And once again in the pecan pie. And just right along that edge. Let's see here. Right along the edge of the sentiment label. There we go. All right, and then we have to put our adhesive on here. Looks like lots of dimensionals. Let's see. Oh boy. They just fit. I almost think I have to add an extra one there. Okay. So I'm doing some live kit events Friday night and Saturday morning this weekend, where it's kind of like doing a paper pumpkin projects that are all planned for you. And I just got more of them on my front porch right before I came down here, so I'm pretty excited. Let's see. I think I'm going to put this. I'm going to have to put this all down very lightly so that I have it in the right spots. Let's see if I can put this one under the joy in the right place. Let it get a little bit on that one, and then I have this one to go. Anyway, I'm kind of excited. When I started this, Plum Crazy Stamping, I thought that I would be doing much more in person. Well, I had my classroom ready, and a week later, COVID hit. And I've been so busy doing online only, I haven't done any, well, I shouldn't say any, very few in-person events. So I'm kind of excited to get this started. So it's going to be kid events this weekend. And then I'm going to do a Christmas card making class on November 30th. And then I'm going to do gift bags and tags in December, on December 13th. So if you're in the area, I'd invite you to join me. It's going to be a lot of fun. And the Christmas card class is going to be making multiples. So if you're a little behind like I am, you can jump on that, right? Okay, let's put some sequins on here and just zhuzh it up a little bit. I love that word, zhuzh. Do you know that the spelling, now I just looked it up yesterday. I think it's ZHUZH is the correct spelling. There are different spellings for it, but that's the most widely accepted. So I am zhuzhing things. Let's see, we're going to put the centers in kind of these little flower-like images. Oops, I used the wrong side there. Where's the adhesive? Ooh, the adhesive must not have come off with it. Nope, there's the adhesive. And let's see, we need one more. Oh, I think that's so pretty. And once again, very felted here. And you know what? I don't like that this is sticking off of here. Let's get a little one of these little glue dots just to hold down this edge. I might have missed putting some adhesive on there. There we go. Much better. All right, well, that is card 2. And now on to card 3. I like that design as well. All right, card 3. Let's look at those directions. Oh, wow, Kim, you're all done. Good for you. Okay, here's card number 3. Now, this is the ornament. This is so pretty. So a lot of die cuts here with this very pretty card base background. Let's see, and then we've got our card front here. So when I was looking for all my long underwear and all that stuff for the game, I found a Christmas present from last year that I was supposed to give to somebody that I lost. That's the second Christmas present from last year I found. So I'm ahead of the game for that reason. What was not funny is when I tried to find them last year and I couldn't find them. Here we go with the sentiment Deck the Halls. Sometimes I hide things too good. So I'll be excited to share those this year. All right, so we've got our sentiment. Let's see if I have, yeah, I have all the adhesive on this, except for the Deck the Halls. And let's see, this corner is going to be able to be a small dimensional. Nope, I guess it is a big one. Well, I'll just make it small here. On the D side. Well, this is going to inspire me to get these cards done because it'll be another group of cards that can get addressed. Okay. So let's see, we can put this on here a little bit over the edge. Down a little bit, I think. Okay. Then we'll get this right on the edge. Don't want to press anything down too hard until I've got it all lined up. Okay, there we go. Now this is another die cut that also I need to get the adhesive off here. There we go, and then we have our Deck the Halls. And a few sequins. Now I have to say, these are really pretty easy cards to do. And I really enjoy the sequins on here. Okay, so there is card 3. All right, so that is the cards as they were designed. So now I'm going to take each set of one card of supplies and make alternatives. So let's go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do, and I've decided to make fun folds. I have heard over and over how much you all enjoy the fun folds. So that's what I decided to share with you today. So let's get out the trimmer. Oh, Sue, I agree. They are beautiful cards. Thanks, Kim. Hi, Sandy. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm keeping my card base parts today the normal size of a card front. So they're going to end up being 5.5 by 4.25. And I'm just going to line them up that way at 4.25. And my score line is going to be right in the track. And I'm just going to cut them in half. Okay, so I'll do that with 3 card bases here, one of each color. Oh, the good news is, for those of you that were with me last week, I found my scoring blade for my trimmer after I ordered a new one. It was in the back of my truck, and it must have flipped out of the bag that had the trimmer on the top. But at least I found it, and now I'll have extra score blades when I need them. But I knew if I ordered them, you know, you get a pack of 2. I knew that it would show up, and sure enough, it did not disappoint. All right, so we've got that. The other thing I'm going to do is there are the 3 card fronts that I used with each of these, and what I'm going to do is cut each of those in half as well. So let's see how long these are. Oh boy. So 4 7/8. Isn't that interesting? Well, we're going to do 2.5 on one side, and the other one's going to be a smidge bigger, and that's fine. All right, so we've got those cut up. And then I've already cut and scored my card bases that I'm just using my regular cardstock. Now this is real red. And what I did is cut this. This is 5.5 by 8.5, and I've scored it at 4.25. Well, actually, first it was 2 1/8, and then 4.25. So this is one where we're just going to do the Z fold, a very easy Z fold. So let's go ahead, and then we're going to take the front flap and flip that back and then crease that. So I'm going to do that with all 6 of my card bases. This is a real easy one if you just want to keep everything kind of the, you know, you want the card front to be full size. Then I've got garden green. Oh, it looks like it's a little crooked. There we go. And then I have basic beige. Okay, and then I'm just going to glue the card fronts that I cut from these, and I'm going to just match them to the color, that they go with here. So let's do the greens first, and I'm just going to put my glue on that front flap. And just match up the corners. And then just press it in place, and you just have to wait a second for the glue to stand up. Okay. Let's do our next one. That one doesn't want to slide. So there's going to be our Z fold and how these are going to stand up. So these are the kind of Christmas cards that can be displayed. Oops. Okay, let's do the red and the So these are pretty much the traditional Christmas colors. I've been using that peaceful garden, the blues and the silvers for a lot of the cards. So kind of nice to go back to the red and green, basic beige. Oh yeah, glue on my fingers. All right, so we can see that. So Kathy, you're looking for that color green. I'm wondering if, do you think that's a more Kelly green or like the shaded spruce? I wonder if that would be close to John Deere green. Yeah, Kathy, I like fun folds too. A lot of times it doesn't even take extra paper. It's just how you fold it. And I think people really like, getting a fun fold because it's just a little different. And by doing this way, you're getting twice the number of cards. So that works out well too. All right. So we've got 6 card bases here. We've cut up our 3 cards to make those. And we've got our card fronts here, which we're going to put into this. And then how I'm really going about it is I'm going to make one card look pretty much like the stamped card that we made, or the one that was provided, and then I'm going to decorate the second one differently. And what I did is, let me show you these trees. So I had a set called, I think it's Plaid Trees, and it's lots of die cuts. And so I would suggest, because it fits with this, either pick an ornament set or a tree set. and just make a bunch of them that you can put on your second cards. These are really pretty. They're very decorative. You know, I could easily make them in real red and garden green and basic beige, but I added a little bling. I added gold on some of these. Some of them are just, isn't this pretty? A plaid tree. You know, gold with, I have die cut bows too that I can use. I'll just set that off to the side. But anyway, I cut a whole bunch of these in these colors so that when I put, you know, cards together, it worked out well. So, you know, we have ornament sets too that you might have. So let's start first with the red. We'll do those two cards first. All right, so then I'm just going to use half of the card front that was on, you know, the original card. So let's go ahead and just glue that in place. And I'm just going to kind of put this up towards the top here. All right. And then I'm going to take the parts and pieces of the tree. Now I have to load these up with dimensionals. So a lot of times I find that if you want to go this road of just, you know, splitting the supplies, that you pretty much can make one card design, unless you're doing something where you're making, you know, more than two from one card design. You know, then sometimes it doesn't work out that way. So just a design tip when you're just trying to get more out of your kits. That works pretty slick, actually. And you don't have to think up something new if you don't want to. And then by just picking another set that I thought kind of went with this idea and with the sentiments, it makes it easy to, you know, design the other cards. For a while, though, I didn't think I was getting anywhere because I was making trees and making trees. All right, so I'm just going to do what, you know, was the same with the other one, only now this kind of stands out a little more on the red itself. And then put in that middle. And then I believe I have the red star. Where'd it go? What's the answer to that question? It's probably right in front of me. Yeah, but it's under something else. Here it is. Oh, I don't like that. That's a big dimensional. I'm going to peel that off and put a little one in here. show it was too much. There. Much better. All right, and then just to do the sentiment here, I'll just show you how it looks when it's done. So I just did the same sentiment, added on the gems, and there is the first alternative. So I'll just set that aside. Now let's go ahead and make the second alternative, and let's use some of our designer series paper here. I'm going to use, once again, just a half of this, but I'm going to change the orientation a little bit to just make it not look exactly the same. You know, I'll remind you, as you're doing Christmas cards and Christmas crafts, make sure you have enough glue. I almost forgot when I put in my order to get some additional glue, and I am going through glue very fast right now, so don't forget that. Let's see, what do we want to do? I think we'll put a little sparkle in here. And then I've got, let's see, a green tree. I think that's pretty red. I think I want actual green. Here we go. Green, and then let's do a white one that's got some gold. Just kind of layer these. And then I just took a square for my sentiment, and let's do deck the halls here. Yep, got ink up on the corner of my acrylic block. You know, and you might like this embossed, you know, in the shiny gold. It would probably go a lot better. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to adhere that. I'm actually going to make one with gold embossing. I just don't have it right here right now, but I think that will really set this off. So let's go ahead and just glue our trees on. The stamped is okay, but you know, with the gold on these trees, I think it will make a really big difference if I emboss it in gold so it's shiny. And then this one can get glued down, and the third one I'm going to pop up. Now this has little dots, so I'm just going to put dots of glue around here. So, you know, any tree, like stamp sets, you could fussy cut them, or die cuts, or punch. You know, I have all of the above, so I'm sure that for those of you that have been stamping a long time, you may as well. And if not, you know, trees are something you can just cut out yourself too. So I just thought it was an easy design to pick to give you some options of what you might like to do to, you know, increase the number of cards you can get out of this kit. The other thing is you could use, you know, the full card fronts and just create your own card fronts for the second card that you're making. You know, you wouldn't have to cut them in half like I did. All right, and then I had a gold star, so let me show you this one all put together. So that's Deck the Halls. But like I said, before I do that, I'm going to emboss this, and then I lost the other gold star I cut out, but I just took some of the foil that I had and cut that out. There was a star that was part of this Christmas tree set. All right, so that is the first two cards done. Now we're going to go to the basic beige. And I'm just going to show you the one that looks just like the other card. The only thing that's different is you can see that I cut down this card front to be just half the size, right? Otherwise, it looks very similar to the kit card. I even put the sequins in the same places. But to get the next card, so we'll set that off. I decided to go in the same direction with the trees. We'll set it like this, and I decided to make a landscape card. So I'll take half of this card front that was in the kit, and I'm going to glue that on the front here. Okay, so I'll just kind of center this in the two corners. Put that there. And now let's see, since this is beige, I'm going to do red and green trees. So let's see what we want to do. I think I want a little gold. And I want some red. Let's do red and white. And I'm going to stamp on here too. And I'm going to stamp before I glue things down just in case it doesn't come out the way I want it to. So I like this design. I don't know, kind of, they make it look somewhat like a snowflake. I'm going to put that on here. And then I think I will put the word joy. Let's find that. And actually, I'm going to do this in red. Let me get my real red here. And I'm going to benefit from the Pierce mat because this is, you can see the thicker font on this sentiment, and I want to get a good image. So I'll use the Pierce mat. That will help. And my thing is stuck. There we go. Oh, Kathy, thanks. The three trees I like too. All right. Let's go with our joy here. Okay, now I could do to the world on here. I'm going to do it. Let me just wash it quick. I'm going to put it in the red as well. Okay. So we have that there. All right. And then I'm going to move this so I don't stick something in it that shouldn't go there. All right. Let's go ahead with our red over here. And we're going to actually glue that down. Hi, Trudy. So all of the paper pumpkin workshops that I have done are on YouTube. So if you just go, there's actually a section, I believe, called Paper Pumpkins, and you just look for the month or the title, and you should be able to find where I did that. So, Kim, that's to answer your question. All right, now I'm going to put this on here, and I guess I'm going to just move it a little bit in front of the red tree, just so I don't cover up the words here. So let's do this. Yeah, so if you ever either have your paper pumpkins that you're just behind on, or that you find some, I just went to a, stamping kind of sale thing, and they had a lot of retired paper pumpkins. I've been doing this for a number of years, so there's a lot of them on my YouTube site. All right, so that is the second card. And when you do the fun fold part, so these you can even set up like this when they're landscape. You could put something right here. These trees are probably too tall, but you could put a circle and right on it, and then this would sit up like this, instead of like this. So you've got two orientations, and you can make those stand up on someone's table too. All right, so now let's do the third one in the greens. So the green one that is, using everything as it was designed, just has a half of the card front here. And like I said, if you wanted to use the whole card front, then you could just make a different card front if you decided to for your second card, or not have, a card front on it. But let me go ahead and show you what I did with this one. So this has the white, and I decided to do the larger stamp on here for Merry Christmas. And just going to do that in the pecan pie. Thanks, Donna. And Frog Quilter, I love your email name. I don't know your first name, but anyway, that's pretty fun. All right, and I'm going to put this kind of towards the bottom. I love this Merry Christmas. So I think I've told you before, paper pumpkin sentiments, they have so many and they're wonderful. And I end up using them over and over and over again. So I'm going to just put this on the bottom here. And it could have been easy to just do a full card front on here. A little too much glue. All right. Let me just bring the one that I've done here so I can show you the parts and pieces. So this one I just took and cut out a plain tree. I don't even know that I have one here. And then the Christmas tree, plaid Christmas tree, I think it's called, had a garland, and I did that out of gold foil. And then I did the star out of gold foil. And then I used the bows. These were part of the die cuts that were in the paper pumpkin kit. So I just decorated this tree, for this one. So that was very easy. And then just, I think, to bump this up a little bit, you could do gold, or I can even just use these red sequins. Let's see, I wish I had a little, wait, you know what? Say your wish and it'll come true. I do have littler ones here. So I'm going to just put these down here. There, I think that really adds just having a little bit of the sequins there. So that is the 6th alternative out of 3 of the kit cards. Let me bring those back in here for you. So here, let me share some really good news for you. I just received, I think we got told 2 days ago, that there is going to be a major paper pumpkin sale the beginning of December, because there is a change and we're not going to have Stampin' Up! Or celebration this year. And I know a lot of people decided to buy their paper pumpkin during celebration so they could get a number of items free. So they've decided to share with us a paper pumpkin prepaid subscription sale. So from December 1st through the 9th, you can get 3 months of paper pumpkin for $61 instead of $81, so $20 savings. 6 months is $122 instead of $162, so you save $40. And then 12 months is $244 instead of $324, so you save $80. Basically, this goes, you save $6.66 a month if you buy this. And what happens when you do this, because of the time of year that you'll be ordering, is this will start with the December kit called Watercolor in Bloom, which is really nice. Buying this will qualify you for Stampin' Up! Rewards, so that's the good news. And this is a great deal. This is the thing my husband buys me every year for Christmas. So if you want this paper pumpkin subscription for Christmas and you want me to help your loved one get this for you and surprise you or whatever, just give them my email, Traci, Traci, at plumcrazystamping.com, and I'll help facilitate that for you. And like I said, in light of not having celebration, this is a way to still get something for a very good deal. You know, getting $6.66 off of the kit is really a good deal, because usually I think it's $27. Now that includes shipping, and so this prepaid subscription still pays for the shipping. Yeah, so anyway, this is very worthwhile, and if you want to get paper pumpkin, please just remember December 1st through the 9th. I will remind you, but don't want you to miss out on that great deal. Also getting that in December, there will be a 4-card free tutorial. It's different than this month. This month is the gingerbread man. And so with the kit event that I'm doing, a lot of people are buying kits right now, which are also great gifts. So, you know, you can earn Stampin' Rewards buying someone a kit for Christmas, and you can get a free tutorial. So don't forget about that. And then talking about kits, it's time to open another door in the Make the Season Bright 12 days of crafting advent calendar. I'm like, I can't believe I didn't have time to hop on this last week since the last broadcast, open another door. I'm going to have to get on that. But anyway, just remember there is a double stamp set here that goes with this. It's all occasion. So there are a number of sentiments, a number of images that you can use for all kinds of card reasons. And let's get the advent calendar out here. Here we go. So now I'll remind you, I don't want to open this and have you see something if you want to get this yourself and be surprised. So we're ready to open door 4. I'm not going to review what was in doors 1 through 3. They are, you know, on my recordings, and you can see those on my Facebook page for 30 days, or you can see them they stay on YouTube always. Okay, so if you don't want to see what's in door 4, close your eyes. I'm not going to say what it is, but I will take it out and show everyone. And then I'll put it back so you can look again. So just, all right, close your eyes for those of you that don't want to see it, because I'm opening door 4. Here we go. And we won't say what it is, but we'll let people who are interested in kind of getting a preview to see what this is. And I'll remind you that if you buy this Advent calendar from Plum Crazy Stamping, I'm going to do a free class for anybody that does that, or a paid class if someone has this and didn't buy it from me, January 10th. So I'm really excited about that. Okay, I've closed the door again for those of you that didn't want to see it. Some of us know what's coming. So I got to hop on and share more of that with you. So let's just have our alternative cards here. And basically the one looks pretty similar to the card kit, right? And, you know, maybe this also, if you don't happen to have the paper pumpkin kit, gives you ideas about how you could make some Christmas cards from your tree stamps, stamp sets, die sets, punches. And there we are. So I'm looking to see if anybody has any questions. And thank you, Donna. Otherwise, let's see. The next time I'll see you all is if anybody in person is coming to the kit events. Those are here in Madison, Wisconsin. And then next week, I'll see you on Wednesday for sure. And if there's something else in between, I'll let you know. But anyway, I wish you all the best. Happy stamping, friends. Let's go ahead and don't hesitate to reach out to me if I can help you in any way. I will be sharing information about gift certificates, which are available in a variety of denominations. Those are on my website, www.plumcrazystamping.com. And I also have a wish list system where if you have things on your paper crafting supply list, I will work with your family or friends to help them get what is on your list, and you don't have to worry about it. So more information to come on that. But anything I can do, please reach out. Otherwise, happy stamping, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.